Let's move on, talk about the retail sales figures. Kind of a mixed bag came out today in light of rising food and gasoline prices, the story we've been telling for a number of weeks now. And with that in mind, we're wondering whether there are any retail stocks that are a good buy right now. Joining us to talk about that, Stacey Widlitz is our newest CNBC contributor. She's also an independent analyst and retail consultant. And also with us is Betty Chen, Vice President covering softline retailers at Wedbush Securities. Good to see you both. Betty, you say the latest retail figures are a bad sign for the rest of the summer and for the back-to-school shopping season. Already, you know that?
Yeah, certainly I think the fact that in May we're already seeing a pullback before the peak driving season for summer where consumers could really feel the pinch for gas prices is very alarming. On top of that, we also believe that many of these retailers will be lapping tougher comparisons than the ones we've seen in May, and therefore we are alarmed that we could be up for a series of comp store sales slowdowns up in the upcoming months.
Stacey, one of the themes that we've highlighted a lot in the last several weeks are those companies that are able to pass on the higher costs of raw materials or the various items that they have to buy wholesale. They're able to pass it on the cost to their consumers without a backlash. Those are the most successful, right?
Yes, that's true, but there are very few of them actually right now. I think you're seeing at the high end, for example, there's a Tiffany that can raise prices. The high-end consumer is not pushing back. But even if you see a company like Costco that's comping well above expectations, they came out and said, gross margins, we just really can't pass on input costs. We saw Dollar General yesterday talk about the same thing. Their comps beat, but their gross margins, they've said, are really under pressure, and they just don't feel they can pass it on.
Right.
So there are very select stories, I think, that you can look at for the second half of the year as input costs get actually worse.
Give me a name of a company that you feel is successfully passing on those costs without any retribution.
Well, I think Limited is a standout name here. Certainly, comps were a little bit below expectations today, not terrible, and the stock has been doing phenomenally well. Comps were up huge last month. So, but that's a company that's actually only exposed about 60% to cotton prices. The rest of it is not. So that's a good name to look at the second half of this year.
Betty, you're looking for retailers with international exposure. Give me an example of one you like.
A name that we would look at would be Guess, and I think even beyond international exposure, a high-end retailer domestically that's benefiting. Chico's is another company we would look at. Chico's does target that higher-end U.S. consumer base, and we believe that in combination with their compelling fashion trends, they've been able to push through higher prices as well.
All right, Stacey, Betty, good to see you both. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.